Hi, this is Manuel, Delta Lima 2 Mike Alpha November. Welcome back to my channel. Today is only about the Uniform U01 antenna and how to elevate it when you're alone. I'm trying to document that with as much detail as possible, and I'm trying to use the remaining time that I have. You can see the shadows behind me are pretty long, so it's not that much time left. I hope I will get all my footage so we can wrap this up. First things first. We have now two versions of the Uniform U01 antenna. Both have valid reasons to exist. This one is the 100 watt version. This one is the 25 watt version maximum rating. Okay, you can also use any other transformer, and the Uniform 1 pattern is just a matter of the amount of wire and the connections in between. I'm going to show you in detail later. I've also updated my page. We are going through that later in that video, where I'm showing you that I've put all the options into account. Let's start. I'm going to, I don't know. Let's start with that one. Doesn't matter. So the first thing we need to do is unwrap all that's on there, so we got a rough idea where the antenna will end up. Let's do this. To do this, I am walking into the direction where I want to put the antenna, like where I expect to be the pole. This is where I'm standing right now, so I'm walking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So 22 looks good. Where I'm now is the end of the antenna, not the fading end of the antenna, it's the dead end of the antenna. And I'm starting to unwrap that because the PCB now contains the transformer, which will be the opposite end. It's the end of this. Okay, there we go. This is the end. This is the thing about the hasp. You have two lanes, one for the rope and one for the wire. It always starts with the rope. Once the rope, the end rope is gone, the antenna wire starts, and at the end there's rope again. I'm going to unwrap that now so you get an idea. Okay, so here is the PCB in the grass, and just to make you aware of that, the Uniform U01 antenna can be built using any kind of broadband transformer 1 in 49 impedance transformation, be it that or be it that. This is a 82-43 core, but doesn't come with a hasp. And this one has the 114-43 core and comes with a hasp. That's the latest one. And this is the 140-43 core and comes also with a hasp. This one is 100 watt rated, CW and SSB. This one 25 watt SSB CW, and this one round about 10 watt max. Okay, so let's go from here. Now you can see there we have the string, barely to see. And now let's follow the antenna wire. So before we elevate it, this is the center elevation point. That's when coming from the transformer, which is this side, right? This is the center elevation point. And it also connects 60 meter section to the 40 meter section. In case we wanted to do 60 meter, we needed to close that connection. Okay? Before we elevate it. Now let's walk a little bit further. this is the second link right here. This direction of triangle and feeding point, and this is the rest. And this is also the link between 60 and 80 meter segment. Okay, so if we want to do 80 meters, this connection needs to be closed. But let's say we want to do 60 meter today, so this one needs to stay open. Before I can elevate the pole, which is there, I need to prepare my guy lines. And I'm doing that by attaching the strings to the guy line. And after that, I will try to unwrap them and put them to 120 degrees apart. And when I have done that, I'm going to elevate my eye in the sky and trying to show you the top view of that. Here you see me walking out along the first guy line. I'm seeking the end. Now I'm walking back 1/3 of the length of this guy line. I'm preparing it. Preparing means I pull the rope tensioner and the hasp to the end. And then I'm sticking my peg through it. And once this is done, I'm sticking the peg into the ground. Next step is to walk back to the guy line support to find the second guy line. I walk along the second guy line. I find the end. I'm preparing the end as well. Walk back 1/3. And once preparation is done, I'm sticking also this guy line, I'm securing it to the ground. Then I'm walking back to the center pole. Okay, so I brought down my drone, and now it's about the details. Let's get closer. First of all, yeah, you saw me putting one rope here, one rope here. The pegs are already in the ground, 1/3 in from the available length each. The next step now is critical. You can see it. I have my guy line support here. Those two are already in the ground. What's really important now is that the antenna is above that string here. Yeah, it is. I've taken care about this before. Let's get the elevation point here. I hope you can see that. Not sure about that. So I here have a 3D printed hook that I'm using. Now I'm standing the pole. I'm taking the top element with the antenna attachment point. Now I'm taking my elevation point, securing it with the hook, and securing the hook to the tip. And now it's simply elevating that up, 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 up. Now this is the point where this guy line support rests on. So up from this point it will go up with the antenna. Now let me see. Now this is the situation. The antenna is at the tip. The guy line is here, and those two strings I secured before are almost under tension. So I have two possibilities. Either I say I want to keep the pole here, so I'm using the rope tensioners to shorten them, or I just walk back a little bit until they are under tension, which is the case now. I'm going to, unfortunately I have only two hands, so I'm attaching the camera now to the tripod again. So, this is the situation now. The pole is here, and those two strings, those two guy lines are under tension, and I'm trying to find the point where this thing is straight. And once I found that, I just take the remaining guy line, take a peg, secure that into the ground, and the antenna is up. Also something worth mentioning. When you secure the, I think they are, I'm calling them hasps. They are being published, I think, as paracord spindle. And I have them on the rope, so you can pull them back like you need. It would, in theory, even be possible to use them as rope tensioners, but I'm using my own rope tensioners. So I'm creating a string here, tension, put in the peg, and antenna is up. Okay, let's see. Let's step a little back. You can see there one line, back there second line, and this is the third line we just elevated. I can now see it's a little bit off. So what we can do now, simply go there, lift it a little bit up and reposition it until we like it. So that was too far in the other direction, but you can see with this system you can elevate the pole all by yourself. And now what's left to do is only follow the antenna wire, put a peg in the ground there. The same goes for that direction. Put a peg down in there and you're ready to go. I just wanted to show you how to elevate that. I didn't bring a radio with me. It's just about the useful accessoires like the guy line support, the tip, stuff you can 3D print, and the technique how to elevate that without anyone else helping you. Good. Now the question arises, how do we unbuild the antenna all by ourselves? Well, in the opposite direction we elevated it. After removing the end stakes, the end tent nails, so the antenna is hanging loose like it is now, I'm removing the first guy line. Now the antenna would fall over. I prevent that from happening by keeping the string under tension until I'm at the pole, foot of the pole. So this is still under tension until I've reached that pole, and now I can simply start lowering the pole segment by segment. What I could do now is remove the hooks, but I won't do that because I can find them easier later. Okay, and now Click. Antenna is off. Removing the guy line support, putting the protection cap back on there. Now I'm ready to collect all my strings and my antenna back on the hasp or spindle, whatever you want to call that. Let's show you that. This is the hasp. So I'm removing, I'm putting the rope tensioner all to the end. I'm sliding my hasp all to the end, putting it somewhere here where it doesn't disturb. And then I'm simply winding my rope on there. And when using such hooks, in Germany we call them Karabiner. I think in English it's about the same, Karabiner, the hooks. You can use them to secure that end of the string on the hasp. So it doesn't fit here, but I can pull a little bit and can snap it over, ready to pack. I'm going to do that with the other two, and then I'm probably back with my final statements. So I'm not ready yet. I still need to pick up the antenna, and as you can see, sun has already disappeared behind the trees. So I'm going to hurry now. And there we go. Uniform 01 antenna, ready to pack. Right now. Perfect. Let's get out of here. As promised at the beginning of the video, we will finish this video with a look at the updated antenna page. And if you slide over the antenna logo on my main page, dl2mn.de, you will get two options. Those were there as well, but if you click directly on antennas, this page has changed. There you have at the beginning the two links to the subsection as well, and I tried to describe as good as possible the logic behind all of this. Introduction with the transformer, the available PCBs, the restrictions, pictures of the PCBs. I inserted some download options for the PCB files. I released the new smaller PCB file, which is here. The printing files are also here, as you can see. A little bit about antenna wire, about wire length, a little bit of theory, practical values. Yeah, and then I finish. By the way, here's another link to the Uniform 01 antenna as a special variant. Again, we're going to have a look at that real quick. But I wanted to show you that there's even links to the 3D printable hasp that you see me using for the guidelines, and I used that for my pocket end-fed half wave. Then we have the antenna stuff itself, the rope tensioner, the insulators, and so on. Then we have the transformer cover for the Uniform 01 hasp for the 140 cores. We have the same thing for the smaller one, for the FT114 cores. In case you want to buy such a pole, by the way, those are not affiliate links. I don't get a cent from that. It's just a recommendation by me because I'm using that as just see it as an information, not as advertisement. In case you want to do the same thing, it makes sense that you buy the same stuff, you know. So I have a link to the DXWire Mini pole and to the Spider Beams pole I was using, and the links below that are the guy line mount and the tip to attach antenna to that pole, and the same here for the Spider Beam. Okay, let's click on the Uniform 01 antenna. There I added the note that I updated my page before, so you get all the information. Yeah, you can see a picture of the new smaller PCB with the 114 cores. Again, links to PCB files and covers, and you can see the PCB on my scale. 257 grams, not bad, huh? For a full-size antenna. Okay, then I've updated this document here. As you can see, I added a little bit of instructions of how to use it, on what bands. I changed the pictures and stuff like that. And to avoid the confusion, because people think it's absolute, that I use the Delta Golf 1 Juliet Alpha November's PCB, which is not the case. And I wanted to point that out here. You can use in this position whatever I have available or whatever you have available. It doesn't matter as long as it provides 1 in 49 impedance transformation and is enough for your power that you want to run over that. That's it. Okay. Yeah. Links to videos. Then here starts the older part with the update before the last update, which is showing the 140 PCB with a spindle. End of update. There you can see the old video about the Uniform 01 antenna and the old file. I didn't remove it just for completeness. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your time. Bye bye. See you next time on Band.